Yo, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy, SalvationsElite, and we are back with another video, guys. And this might be the craziest video we've done in a while, probably a long time. Honestly, probably since the last time OpTic made a roster change, to be honest. This is some of the best news, the most important news so far of Rostermania. And just in the last 24 hours, two massive bombshells have been dropped in Rostermania when it comes to 100 Thieves and it comes to Op. Now, both of those teams have announced their full rosters, all 5 players. Not to mention, there's a lot of players that are hanging out to dry, and there's a lot to talk about, obviously. And hopefully that's why you guys are here. I want to say thanks real quick though for 5,000 subscribers, which is awesome. We hit it real quick in the video I posted last week, which was awesome. I mean, I literally was so happy to see it. Thanks to everybody who subscribed lately. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone who's here watching the video right now. And I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to do this long term, and I can't do this without you guys. So again, I really, really do appreciate it. But let's just hop right in because I know you guys don't want to hear me talk. So with that said, OpTic just announced their roster today. I was at work and I'm like, man, I need to watch this live stream. So, you know, I had one tab open, watching live stream, one tab open, doing work. That's how it goes sometimes, you know. OpTic roster is Scump, no duh. Crim, okay. Dashy, all right. See, we definitely was expected. TJ, which was expected, Tjhaly. And the Mr. 3 Rings himself, Karma, is back on OpTic's roster. They dropped him after season 1, but he's back and added with Tjhaly and Dashy. This is going to be a really, really good roster. I mean, if you're an OpTic fan, you've got to be excited about this roster. Dashy and TJ are two of the young stars in Call of Duty. Dashy was an absolute stud this year, 19 years old. TJ is also 19 years old. He was a main AR for... Well, Dashy was a main AR for Complexity this year and one of the best players of COD World War II, specifically near the end of the season and specifically at Champs. He was a monster at Champs. He was the second best respawn Slayer and had the second best respawn KD with a 1.26 at Champs. He just absolutely melted everybody at Champs. And he's one of the best snipers in the game. So when it comes to S&D, he's a beast as well. Pulls out that sniper and can absolutely dominate one lane of the map. So he's a great player. It's gonna be so fun to see him play alongside with Scump and Crim and Karma. And same goes for TJ. TJ was on Rise this season, and Rise, as you know, was one of the 2 best teams season long. Them and TK were dominant all year long. He was a sub for Rise in World War II, and he was really good at it. He legitimately had a great year, and was a big reason for why Rise had the success they did. So it's good to see this roster is going to be successful. It's going to be extremely competitive. And if you're an OpTic fan, you gotta be pretty happy seeing Karma, Crim, and Scump back together, adding 2 young stars like Dashy and TJ to the mix. It's going to be a good roster. So with the Black Ops 4 meta, most people are assuming there's going to be 2 subs, 1 flex, and then 1 AR, and then 1 tactical rifle. So at least right now with the expected gun meta, one guy would be using like the Maddox or Vapor, and then the other guy who'd be using an AR probably would be titled the main AR because he would be using the tactical rifle. He'll be using like the ABR or the Swordfish, so one of those longer range ARs that can dominate a lane, like in that same sense. Expect Dashy to have that main AR role, while TJ is more of a support sub, and then either Crim or Karma will be running that AR, and then the other one will be flexing. And then obviously Scump will be a main sub. So that's what you can expect from this roster. It's going to be, like I said, fantastic moving forward, and I'm excited to see what they can do this season. So there's obviously more news. 100 Thieves last night announced their final roster, and it is not a pushover. It's a fantastic roster. So their final roster is Fero, Kenny, Octane, Slasher, and Enable. So 3 returning players from TK, Fero, Kenny, Enable, adding Octane and Slasher. Obviously, 2 dominant players this season in World War II. This roster is going to be really, 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 really good. I mean, expect them to be a top 4 roster for sure heading into Black Ops 4, which, you know, it's not saying too much right now because we don't have all the rosters set. But the other rosters that we have now set are Envy. So Envy bought out EG's roster, Evil Geniuses. So they now bought the reigning COD World War II COD champs. And they added Huke to that team. So that roster is now Huke, Apathy, Aches, Assault, and Pristini. So that's obviously a really good team as well. And then the other roster that we know for sure is Red Reserve. And so that roster is Joe rated, 0 scraps and bans. So I mean, again, that's going to be a good roster as well, good for EU. And this season, obviously, players can play outside of their region if they want. So European players or Australian players or North American players can play together. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, these roster announcements for these 4 teams that are already completed left a lot of players looking for homes, looking for new teams. So right now, we've got Looney, Gunless, Accuracy, Chino, Methods, Classic, and Decimate as like the most popular North American players that are looking for homes. Obviously, the rest of the former Complexity roster is still looking for a home as well, which includes Sensor, obviously. So there's a lot of players that are currently looking for homes. Right now, the biggest teams of 4 that are still looking for a 5th are LG, FaZe, and EU. So those are the guys that we need to talk about real quick about, you know, which guys are going to end up where and how's that going to work out. So, okay, this is going to be a lot of just theory and complete rumors. None of this is confirmed. It's just my opinion, which, you know, for a new show, it's debatable, but I hope you guys are here to hear my opinion. So, what I think EU is going to do, I think they probably want either Chino or Accuracy. Accuracy could fit on that team pretty well chemistry-wise. Chino, I'm sure, can basically fit in with anybody. He's a pretty chill guy. So those would be 2 guys that I'd be looking for to play on EU. Chino, in my mind, makes the most sense for EU right now. So obviously, with TJ going to OpTic and Slasher going to 100 Thieves, that leaves Looney and Gunless looking for teammates. They need 3 teammates to play with in World War II. What we do know is that Formal and Gunless are pretty good friends, and from all the rumors of the previous Rostermania, it seems like they want to play together. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Formal would want to go to Rise or if Gunless ends up on LG. So those are probably the 2 most likely options that either Gunless goes to LG or Formal comes to Rise with Gunless and probably Looney. If that happened, you'd be looking at maybe Decimate and a 5th, like Methods potentially, as, you know, a team of 5 on Rise. And then that would leave LG still looking for a 5th. Maybe Classic at that point ends up at LG. Who knows? So again, right now, Looney, Gunless, Accuracy, Chino, Methods, Classic, and Decimate are like the biggest names that are looking for homes right now that aren't obviously EU players, the North American players. And so those are the guys that you really need to keep a close tab on moving forward, and those are the guys that we're going to hear a lot of news about in the upcoming week or 2. Look out for LG, FaZe, and EU in the next week or 2 to make their moves to their final rosters. There is a rumor that Abizi is heading to FaZe, which I don't really know anything more about than that just being a rumor. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Obviously, FaZe is a great team, and they're looking to win a championship in Black Ops 4. So they're a roster you have to keep an eye on. As news keeps coming out, I'll keep updating. Right now, it's kind of a dead time for Call of Duty, obviously, before Black Ops 4 comes out. Once Black Ops 4 comes out, obviously, I'll be making some tips videos, and gameplays will be flying out onto the channel. Hopefully, as much content as I can possibly put out will be coming out at that time. It's a little bit tough for me because I'm working a full-time job right now, but I'm doing my best to put out as much content as possible. And once Black Ops comes out, obviously, I'll be pumping out as much content as possible. So, with that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And again, I'm trying to do this long term, and I can't do this without you guys. So I really do appreciate all the support. It really does mean a lot to me. But as always, guys, I'm your boy, SalvationsElite, and we will see you next time. I'm out.
Two people.
Okay, 1 second. I'm popping up.
I'm gonna be behind him. Come on, I need help. No, I need
Yep. Oh, jeez. Why are you so far away from me, man? Where they at?
fucking people.